September 19, 1944, 07:30 hours. In the small village of Buisson-la-Petite, Lorraine, France, a heavy fog blanketed the countryside, wrapping the morning in an eerie silence broken only by the low rumble of tank engines. Inside his Panther tank, German commander Unteroffizier Karl Hoffmann peered into the gray void, his breath fogging the cupola lens. What he saw next would haunt him forever. Through a fleeting tear in the mist, an American tank destroyer flashed into view, fired twice, and disappeared before his gunner could even traverse the turret. A nearby Panther burst into flames. This was no mirage. 42 Panthers from the elite 113th Panzer Brigade had launched their morning attack with confidence, armed with superior armor, sloped plating, and the deadly 75mm gun that had dominated the Eastern Front. They had been told the Americans relied on numbers, not skill, that their tanks were crude, unreliable, and poorly manned. But in those fog-shrouded fields near Arracourt, that illusion burned away. The Germans had met a new adversary, the M18 Hellcat, AT-AT, machine that would redefine armored warfare by proving that speed could be more deadly than armor, the Hellcats. Story began not on the battlefields of Europe, but in American workshops after Pearl Harbor. Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Davis Bruce at Fort Meade, Maryland, envisioned a radical idea: to destroy tanks not by matching their weight, but by outmaneuvering them. His doctrine placed speed first, firepower second, and armor dead last. The result was the M18 Hellcat. Sleek, open-topped, and terrifyingly fast. Powered by a 400-horsepower aircraft engine inside a 20-ton frame, the Hellcat could sprint at 55 to 60 miles per hour. Faster than any tank in history. Built by Buick engineers under automotive genius Harley Earl, it looked more like a sports car with a cannon than a tank. While the German Panther boasted 100mm of armor and a 45-ton chassis, the M18 relied on agility. Its torsion bar suspension and automatic transmission, allowing crews to maneuver across broken terrain at 4 times the Panther's pace. German tanks required 30 seconds to accelerate. The M18 did it in 5. In combat, that difference meant life or death. The M18 made its quiet debut in Italy, where a few prototypes stunned German defenders near Anzio, but the real test came in Lorraine. As dawn broke over France on September 19th, the 113th Panzer Brigade advanced through fog so dense that visibility barely reached 30 meters. Confident they faced only Shermans, they crept forward, unaware that 4 Hellcats from Lieutenant Edwin Leiper's platoon of the 704th Tank Destroyer Battalion lay in ambush near Rewrote-la-Petite. Engines idling, crews waited for shapes to emerge from the fog. Then came the shadow of a Panther's muzzle. The first Hellcat lunged from concealment, accelerating from 0 to 30 miles per hour in seconds, flanking the German column and firing 2 precise rounds into a Panther's side armor. The German gunner never even aligned his sights. In 5 minutes, 5 Panthers burned, victims of a doctrine they did not understand. The fog lifted to reveal smoking wrecks and the beginning of a legend. The difference between the 2 machines was staggering. The Panther's 7-ton turret rotated painfully slow, a full minute for 360 degrees, while the M18's lightweight turret swung effortlessly in seconds. The Panther's crew fought their machinery as much as the enemy. Its delicate final drives failed constantly. Its transmissions overheated, and even slight overuse could cripple the tank. The Hellcat, by contrast, could be repaired in hours. Its entire engine could be rolled out and replaced on site. By 0900 hours, the fog had thinned, and Captain Tom Evans coordinated a textbook tank destroyer maneuver. 1 platoon baiting the Panthers, the others racing along the flanks for clean side shots. German radios crackled confusion. Most tanks couldn't even communicate beyond hand signals, while American M18 crews used reliable SCR 508 radios to call targets and shift positions instantly. Within hours, 21 German tanks lay destroyed for the loss of just 2 Hellcats. The Panthers, powerful on paper, were helpless against an enemy that refused to fight on their terms. The battle around Arracourt raged for days. Sergeant Henry Hartman, commanding one of the Hellcats, destroyed 6 Panthers in a single engagement, his shots striking the narrow seam between turret and glacis, causing catastrophic ricochets that killed crews instantly. By noon on September 19th, German command was in disbelief. Tanks costing over 100,000 Reichsmarks, built with thousands of man-hours, were being destroyed by vehicles half their price, mass-produced in Michigan factories that could replace every lost Hellcat in 2 days. When German reinforcements arrived on September 20th, they found their comrades shaken. Fear, not armor, now ruled the battlefield. These were men hardened by the Eastern Front, veterans of Kursk and Kharkov, now outmaneuvered by vehicles that vanished faster than they could traverse a gun. As the battle widened, mechanical reality compounded tactical disaster. Panthers bogged down, final drives shattered, transmissions burned out. The 113th Panzer Brigade's advance collapsed by the 22nd, their pursuit futile. When the Americans counterattacked, Shermans moved forward slowly, drawing German fire while M18s raced unseen through the woods to strike from the sides. The Panthers' vaunted armor meant nothing when Hellcats appeared behind them. By September 25th, the Germans had lost 39 Panthers for only 4 Hellcats destroyed. Even German commanders like Hasso von Manteuffel were forced to issue humiliating orders. Do not pursue enemy tank destroyers, avoid mobile battle. The once fearsome Panthers were reduced to defensive bunkers, their speed and firepower rendered useless by opponents too fast to catch. The Hellcats' revolution extended beyond tactics. Each was a triumph of American industry. Built using automotive mass production, standard parts, and techniques learned from civilian car lines. While German factories produced hand-built machines limited by shortages and bombing, American assembly lines churned out vehicles in days. A Panther took 2,000 man-hours to build. A Hellcat took 500. The result was overwhelming. The U.S. could replace losses faster than Germany could repair theirs. Even as late as December 1944, during the Battle of the Bulge, Hellcats once again proved decisive. Rushing ahead of German spearheads, they raced along icy roads to block critical junctions, sometimes reaching positions before the enemy even realized they were there. At Nouville, 4 M18s helped hold off the 2nd Panzer Division, an incredible testament to speed over size. The numbers told the rest. 526 enemy vehicles destroyed for 216 Hellcats lost. A kill ratio of 2.4 to 1, the highest of any U.S. armored vehicle in the war. But the Hellcats' true victory was psychological. The Germans, masters of tank warfare since 1940, suddenly faced an opponent that overturned every assumption. Their heavy armor and precision optics were useless against ghosts that appeared, struck, and vanished. By the end of the war, even captured German officers admitted the M18 had broken their confidence. In post-war evaluations for the new Bundeswehr, many recommended mobile systems modeled after the Hellcat, rather than heavy tanks. Its design philosophy, that survival lay in mobility, not armor, influenced generations of armored warfare. From the M1 Abrams to the Leopard 2, the core principles remain. Speed, agility, and reliability win battles. When veterans returned to Arracourt decades later, they found the battlefield unchanged. The same fields, the same ridges where Panthers once burned. A restored Hellcat raced across the ground, its engine roaring just as it had in 1944, still reaching its impossible 55 miles per hour. German veterans watched in silence, remembering how that speed had turned confidence into terror. The Hellcat had done more than destroy tanks. It had destroyed a way of thinking. It proved that wars are not always won by the heaviest armor or the biggest gun, but by the side that can adapt and innovate faster. For the German tankers who faced them in that fog, the lesson was brutal and unforgettable. In modern war, the swift, not the strong, prevail. The M18 Hellcat, light, fast, and deadly, had rewritten the rules of armored warfare forever.